This government shutdown has made one thing crystal clear, and that's simply this. Income is not guaranteed. If you're living paycheck to paycheck right now, that means something like this can drastically affect your finances. But listen, I've been in government for quite some time. I've got the prediction of when this is actually going to end. I think that the government shutdown is actually going to end. Honestly, y'all, I have no clue. I don't know. But since you're already here and I don't have a prediction for you, I'm going to show you exactly how you need to be prepared for a government shutdown or any emergency that comes up in your life financially to put you in a better place financially. So what does that look like? And first, let's look at the problem. Here's the problem with most people in situations like this. The first thing is that we want to live right at our means, or most people are living above their means. That means that typically they're probably, okay, hey, I make 100% of my income, of course, and I'm living at 100% of that income, or I'm using 100% and I'm using credit cards on top of that. This is not something that we want. We want to make sure that we try to live below, and I'm going to show you today practically what that looks like. The second problem that we have is that we don't have an emergency fund at all. Now, you may be watching this video thinking, okay, well, I haven't had the margin to do this. I don't know how I'm going to get an emergency fund. I'll show you exactly how we can do that as well today. I think those are the first two problems. But the last thing I think, which is also important, which you're probably feeling right now, is that you don't have any income that you control. You don't have any other assets or anything that if something were to happen, whether something happens at work or a government shutdown in the situation that we're in right now, you don't control anything that is going on. You're not using skills or gifts or tools that you have to be able to create more income. And I'm going to show you a couple ways you can do that in today's video. And so here's my government game plan for you. But first, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tap in. You can get more financial information just like this. So here's my first government game plan for you. I think you need to assess what your needs and what your wants are. Now, you may say, okay, well, define a need. Can you live with it or live without it? Yes, Netflix is great. I actually love Netflix and YouTube TV, all those, but those are simply luxuries and wants that I have, right? And so here's my challenge to you today. Do you think that you can live on 10% less than what you already are making, right? You're like, oh, I'm already paycheck to paycheck. I have seen a lot of people inside of our coaching program in the Earners Academy where they don't think they can live off of less, but they end up deciding that, okay, hey, actually I can live off of 10, 20, 30% less than what I'm making if I'm disciplined and make some decisions. So let's take a look at an example. Let's say right now that you are making $100,000 in salary. Now I live in Alabama, so we're going to use Alabama taxes per se. So let's say at $100,000, you've got about $6,100 coming in every month. So you're thinking, okay, well, $10,000, that's a big drop off, Cameron. Why would you think that I could do that? When you really think about it, $10,000 less is really just $500 a month. Okay, well, yeah, I'm paycheck to paycheck, just $500. Well, if we took a look at your budget and you were like, okay, well, do I really need this, right? So let's look at it how you could practically do that. You got, let's say you go down to $5,600 a month, which is $500 in savings. You look at maybe a cut down in your miscellaneous, and maybe you don't have a budget plan. Make sure you check out this video using our Smart 7 budget planner, where you have an opportunity to be able to organize your finances, figure out what is going on with your finances, track them, and you can maybe cut a couple miscellaneous and see what is not necessary and what's necessary for you. So let's look at some miscellaneous. What are some things that maybe you have some fun money, maybe you have some, dining out way too much. I've had people who have $300, $400 coffee budgets. Like, can you cut those things down and get yourself down to $500 in savings and maybe live off of $5,600 a month? Or this is another big thing that I see. Maybe you check a couple items like car insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance. And I'll just give you an example for me. I have been with the same car insurance for roughly about 10, maybe 10 years, just because my family had always been with this car insurance. And I realized quarterly I started checking, and I switched car insurance because I was saving about $220 a month when I switched. So maybe you've never checked that. Maybe it's been a family thing for you. We've always been with this person or this group. Maybe look around, maybe see what's around and see what is available to you and see if you can cut costs that way. But I want to challenge you. Okay, we've talked about 10%, but what if you could actually go to 20%? What does 20% look like? Oh, you're crazy, Cameron. You don't really understand. Things are very tight. I get it. You're in a very stressful moment right now. The government shut down. Nobody knows when it's going to open back up. I wish I did. I would tell you today, but I don't know. But what if we can go down to $5,000 a month? Basically $1,100 less than what you are already making today. Well, sounds crazy. Sounds like it's not doable, right? But once again, we have worked with people inside of our Earners Academy who have done exactly this and are now living off of 70, sometimes even 60% of their income, and still being able to give and affect more people because they now have margin and still have a great lifestyle. I don't want you to not live your life, but it's now within reason and basically has a plan for everything that is going on. So how are we going to do that? My first suggestion to you is this. You want to maybe create another stream of income and take care of that money, take that money and use it towards your wants. So what does that look like? Maybe you're a photographer. Maybe you know how to edit videos. Maybe you can consult. There are people who use certain skills that they have and people pay them, $200, $100 here. Maybe you take that money and you use it for your wants category. So you take that to be able to spend, let's call it your extra money that you make. And then you can use your essentials to be on your $5,000 budget that you have. Maybe there's also people who do AI assistance. Okay, well, what does that mean? Simply, there are a lot of businesses that are kind of transitioning, trying to understand AI. Maybe you know a lot about ChatGPT, how to automate processes, or maybe you're good at project management. Maybe you even love content creation and social media. These are things that can create other ways of income. But I think what's most important that I'm going to get to here in a second before I go to our second point is you actually control these assets. And that's what's going to be really important for you to know is that you can actually control what happens because you're the one putting in the work to do that. Your second option is this. Me, personally, I love for my clients to keep their lifestyle, so I really don't want to go to this option, but if this is an option for you, I think it's great. They're saying right now that typically 70% of households are suffering from what is called subscription creep. And that means that we have subscriptions here, you've got Netflix, YouTube TV, Paramount Plus, HBO Max. You've got all these different subscriptions and you only watch one show on each one. Why don't you just, hey, well, maybe I only need 2 for right now. Maybe I only need 3 that I actually watch. But right now, people are basically having an issue, and there's $100 a month just going out from just subscriptions. So you can cut a couple things. Maybe instead of using monthly fees for these Disney Plus and HBO and all that, maybe you pay the annual so that way you don't have to worry about it, and it's not eating up at your margin every single month. So those are really my 2 suggestions to you to be able to change things as you go into this shutdown, or even if something else comes up later on in life, because we don't know when it's going to happen. We can't control what happens in Washington, but you can control what happens in your household and with your money. So what's the moral of the story today? Why am I on this rant about this? At the end of the day, you need to be able to control what you can control. And so here's my 3 things for you that you can control. The first thing is going to be your budget. You can control that. I know that you're saying, oh, there's no way I can do this. If you're having issues with your budget, you can join our Earners Academy. There's a link down below where we are simply working with families and individuals and helping them be able to get out of debt, create margin, create an emergency fund, and be in situations like this that they are still having a peace of mind. And so if that's something that you're wondering, okay, hey, I don't know what you mean, create a budget or control my budget. Make sure you tap into the link down below and we'll help you.
Are you struggling with debt or feeling like there's never enough at the end of each month? Or maybe you want to create more income, or maybe you want to start investing but don't know where to start. You're not alone, but you don't have to stay stuck there. The Earners Academy is a financial coaching program where we're helping countless individuals and families eliminate 3 to 4K in debt in less than 30 days, build full emergency funds in less than 90 days, and finally create financial margin inside of their budget. Through accountability, through a game plan, and through guidance, we'll help you on your way to financial freedom. So are you ready to take the first step? Book your consultation today and start building the financial future that you deserve.
I think it's going to be important that you can control is going to be your income. Well, I've just shown you and kind of told you a couple ways that you can do that. Use some of the skills that you have to create more income, create more assets for you. So that way, when things like this happen, you don't have to worry about, well, I don't know when my job's going to open up. It could be, I'm sure when you heard about the government shutdown. This has happened multiple times. Oh, this always happens. It's gonna, the next day, you know, maybe day 3, you thought, well, they're gonna get this figured out. We're 20 plus days in, and nothing has changed, and we still don't know what's gonna happen. This is not a doom and gloom video. This is more so to tell you that if you're controlling your finances and your income and creating other ways to build it, you won't have to worry about situations like this. You can still worry about what is going on, but your home is taken care of. And I think the third thing, which is gonna be your most important, is it's your future. You're controlling your future and what happens when certain situations like this happen. You are in control, and it's not what's happening in Washington. So appreciate you for checking out this video. I hope this was helpful. If you want to get more content like this, be sure to check out these.